Good evening, happy stampers, and welcome to my happy stamping studio. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome all of my friends. I'd like to welcome those of you that are joining me live today and those watching on replay. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule this evening and join us. As you're coming on to this live, please say hi. Let me know where you're coming from and let me know if you've started your Christmas cards. Yes, I'm talking Christmas today. We are going to be using the Joyful Tidings stamp set. And this is a stamp set that is found in our mini catalog right here on page 58. And it is also a stamp set that I am using for my class this month. In fact, it is going on right now. Early bird ends tomorrow, and you can save 20% off the regular price because the class isn't released until the 13th, but I am running a early bird until the 12th for those of you that jump in before the class is available. So I'm using a couple things today. So one is the Cling stamp set, the Joyful Tidings, and it's a stamp set of 7 stamps. It includes these 2 wreaths and some sentiments. We're using Garden Green and Soft Seafoam as our inks today. We're using this Mossy Meadow and Gold trim. I love this trim. It is gorgeous. It's glimmery. It's beautiful. So we're going to be making a little bow with that. I am also using the Cherry Cobbler and Pearl adhesive backed berries. Now, these berries are awesome. I'm going to open these up and talk a little bit about these. This is the product that we had last year that's held over. And you get these clusters of 3, and then you get these single ones too. So you get a choice when you are crafting with those. And I love the look of them on wreaths. Then we are using our Christmas greetings mix and match cards and envelopes. Now these you get 5 of each, and you get Garden Green or crumb cake to choose from. And what I love about this is that they have the matching envelopes. So we're going to be using the Garden Green today. I will be using the crumb cake in the future. And I love creating with these because these are the perfect card base, and it makes creating so much quicker. Then I have got some Garden Green, some Soft Seafoam, and some basic white cardstock. Okay, we're going to start with our basic white, and we're going to do our stamping first. This is quite an easy card. This is a card that you might consider to do for your Christmas cards this year, because I feel that with having the card bases pre-cut, scored, and ready to go, you can do these very quickly. So we're going to start with our Garden Green ink here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Soft Seafoam while we're at it. And we're going to grab our stamp. Now I have this wreath one, and they're really swag, but I'm going to make it into a wreath. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and ink this up. Get on camera here. And on this piece of basic white, I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it just like this. Press even and then lift. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to clean my stamp, because now we're going to stamp with the lighter color of Soft Seafoam. Ink that up. Really good. And then we're going to overlap the 2. So we're forming a wreath with this. Put it right down there. Okay, and see how that formed a circular wreath. So quick and easy. Now I've got a smaller piece of basic white also, and this is just a scrap left over, and on that I'm going to stamp the Noel. Now you could choose to emboss this in gold if you wanted and carry on the gold theme. So I'm going to stamp it down here a little bit. gently, even pressure, because if you tend to rock that one, it's going to get the lines on the outside. So just straight down and even pressure. Okay, I'm going to grab, I don't have my paper snips here, so I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors. This is a no-no. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And I'm going to trim it just a little bit. That piece is a little bit too wide for me. And I'm trying to do it pretty straight. Okay, and then I'm going to clip this off up here a little bit farther. Okay, and then we're just going to cut the corners and create a tag with this. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not an even person in most cases. Oh, that's way off. Go down a little bit more on this one. There we go. So we've got our stamping done. How quick and easy was that? I'm looking at this. Okay, we're still okay. So I'm going to take one of the other verses, sentiments out of here, and I'm going to put tidings of joy this Christmas season. You see this one here. I'm going to grab another block, or I'll just take this one off. Set my stamp right up there. Oh, you know what? I want a larger stamp block, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here where I want it, and I'm going to put it at center-ish. And I'm just looking at this, and here we go. Now I'm going to line up the side of the block and the bottom of the block with my mat. Now, when you do this, it's going to be real easy to rock this. You don't want to rock it. So we want to press here on the stamp instead, and then line it up here and very carefully stamp it down, putting the pressure on the stamp, not on the entire block. Okay, and then lift it up. And I stamped it in the wrong color. So 2 sides to every paper. So let's try that again. I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. Yes, I make mistakes too. And I want this part of the swag to the side a little bit, because I'm going to put the bow up there. Ink that up. Clean it again. It's always good to try it twice, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Patsy says, well, she's glad to see that I make mistakes too. Oh, believe me, I make mistakes. If you watch me long enough, you know I make mistakes. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go into the garden green. And I'm going to line it up again. Pressure right down there. And that's so much better because now I can see it. Let me clean my stamp. Now I have found, I'm doing my class with a couple other demonstrators, one from New Zealand and one from Canada. And when we first started with a stamp set, it was like, okay, coming up with ideas. We couldn't stop. It was hilarious. It was like, oh, I've got this idea. I've got this idea. We had to pull ourselves back. Okay, so let's grab our cardstocks, our 2 mats, and we're going to keep this here and put it up there. And we're going to go ahead and adhere that to our mats before we do any decorating. So just taking our liquid glue, getting it all over. I'm going to go ahead and layer this way. So like I was saying, we just couldn't stop coming up with ideas with this stamp set. It is a stamp set that we're using in my classes this month, my on-the-go classes, and then I'm doing the online class also. And each one of them has different ideas. My online class is actually an embossing and special folds class. And if you have trouble with embossing, I urge you to take that class. I will put the link in the description down below so you can check out the details. And I even have a really good deal on the stamp set if you order, or yes, the stamp set and the designer series paper that we're using if you order this week. Okay. I know, yeah, I know several of you have taken me up on that deal. It's a deal you can't pass up, believe me. Okay, so we're going to want this to be a small bow. So I'm going to pull this down because we don't want to overpower our wreath. Now I'm going to pull my tails down a little bit and tighten that bow up. You just might have to play with it just a little bit to get it to where you want it. Okay, and then we're going to take those ribbon scissors and we are going to trim off the tails. And I like the tails to be about as long as those ears. Just a cute little ribbon. And right there like that. Okay, so now we're going to take a mini glue dot and we're going to adhere that on. So my idea would be is if I was making these cards for Christmas, and I'm probably going to make some of these. This is, I think, going to be my stamp set this year that I'm going to be making my Christmas cards from. I would sit watching TV and doing bows. I like that the green and the gold ties in with these card bases. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and add our berries. And I am going to add, I think, the 3Bs. So pick that up there. And we're just going to do some clusters on here. I'm going to do them underneath each of those green berries. So it looks like those green sprigs are poking out. And I am going to be doing it. We're going to do it on all of it. So I am doing it on the sprigs that are larger. And what I mean by larger, they have more greenery coming out from them. So they've got like 3 little sprig things coming out. And this one here. So look how odd that looks with 4. Doesn't look right. We need to do 5. So we're going to add this one right down here opposite our bow. And I think I'm going to change this one right here. Just going to move it up to the top of that sprig. Just that little bit makes the difference. Okay, we're going to pop this up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And let me see it. I have some full-size ones here. I'm going to flip this over and see how fast this is going together. Now, you could choose to stamp your sentiments if you wanted in real red or even cherry cobbler. I think that would be gorgeous too. That way the sentiments will pop out at people a little bit more than just doing it in the garden green. Okay, I'm going to take my card base now. I'm going to fold it on the score line. I'm still going to take my bone folder and burnish that up. And I'm going to put this on here. And having those plaid makes it easy to line it up. Nice and straight. How quick that card was. But I think this is a little bit bare in there. I'm looking here. So we're going to take this and we're going to take one of those single berries right here. And I'm going to place it right there where the hole should be. Then I'm going to take some of my mini dimensionals and put it on the back of my little tag. Like this. People are always asking me, do I really need minis? Oh, you definitely need minis. You know, before we came out with the minis, I used to cut my dimensionals up. And I would waste a lot because I need small pieces. And the pieces that were left sometimes didn't stick real well because the little chad came off of them. So these have been a real lifesaver. So we're going to put this coming out right there. I want to slip it underneath that tail. Look at that. Look how quick the Christmas card came together. Could you see? Let me know. Could you see you making these? You could also take rhinestones and our basic rhinestone jewels, and you could color them with a Stampin' Blend. And on the inside, I am going to put the other larger sentiment, which is may the wonder and magic of Christmas fill you with delight. This one goes all the way over here. And do this. I should have cut 2 of these out today to show you guys what it would look like if the words were in red instead of the garden green, how it changes the look of the card. And that, you know, that's one way when you're making Christmas cards. I know some people say, oh, I get tired of making the same Christmas card over and over again. Well, change it up. Change your words a little bit. You could change this wreath. You could make it both in the garden green. You could change your words, your sentiments by embossing them or doing them in red. I would probably do them in cherry cobbler because these berries kind of remind me of more of a cherry cobbler color. But that is our card today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a quick one. I went from start to finish in under 20 minutes. So if you did these in bulk, you could get a lot of them done. You could do them all. This whole pack of card bases in, I would say it would take you maybe an hour to do them. So an hour for 10 cards, which isn't bad. That's 6 minutes a card. How many of you can do a card in 6 minutes? So check out my online class for this month on embossing and special folds. The link will be in the description below. So until we meet again, everybody.